who's excited to be here first off? Yeah, yeah. I want to know why you picked this workshop. Can somebody go for it?
So the lady outside said, do you want to learn about financial growth or do you want to learn that get tired of speaking? And I said, I'm going to
get paid. Okay. Yes.
I've got genius to share, and I want to make sure that I'm saying it in a way that it relates to my audience.
Okay. I love that. Yes.
So I got invited at a real estate conference to speak to all these deep real estate names. And I was just like the small title investors. And I got a standing ovation and people come to me like lying in the ballpark. If you want to talk to you, I was like, it's like, you should have your own conference. You should have a speaking engagement. So when I saw that, I was like, yep, that's me. This class.
That's you. Yes.
You don't know how.
She did it. Woo! Congrats, girl. TEDx, I got Mariah. She's not here right now. She's probably in another workshop, but I got her a TEDx and we are already talking about monetization because you're getting in front of an audience, guys, whether it's a TEDx talk, it's a keynote, it's something like this, me standing here, being able to share my gifts with you guys. And honestly, at the end of the day, I love being a speaker that gets fucking paid. That is it. We want to get paid from that. So, okay. So you guys can get your workshop workbook here if you guys want to snag that up, so that you guys can keep that with you. But behavioral psychology, I have my master's degree in science of psychology of applied behavioral analysis. And I honestly want to make sure that we are literally making the audience feel what we are feeling. And that is really important when it comes to speaking. We don't just come to speak to hear our own voice. We come to change lives in the audience. That's really what it comes down to. So when I'm like, I want to get paid, it's because I'm getting paid to tell my story and being able to really move the audience towards working with us. That's what it comes down to. It's really important. So I have all of these workbooks. I don't know if I have enough for everybody. I wasn't expecting so many, but if you guys want to look at these, can share them.
And give.
You're welcome. Or you want to pass it down? Yeah. Okay. So I want to really get started with the fact that who here has done a talk? Okay. Done a talk. How many leads came from that talk? Not enough. Don't know. Why aren't you tracking?
I thought the talk I do most of the time is like my pitch for my business. I pitched it.
Oh, you're pitching. How does that go?
I better it every time.
Okay. All right. So say some of it to me.
Leave for my short-term British apartments or government or
wow, this is
gym housing.
I love that you do that, but you sound super salesy.
Well, I guess it's still working.
Yeah, we want to
Be better.
So we always want to start off with something thought-provoking, whether that's a statistic, it's a question, it's something that you have to think about. I like writing every single talk like a TED Talk. And who here likes human design? Yes. So I intertwine human design with psychology, with TEDx to make my keynotes for my clients. And it's like magic. It feels like magic, honestly. So that's what I want to teach to you guys today. So you guys have your workbook. We're digging into the truth. How many here believe that your story matters and you should get paid for it? Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. Ladies. Okay. I love that. Because some people are like, no, like, I don't think my story's worth it, or I don't think I have a story to tell. And Do you guys mind if I share my story with you? Would you like to hear it? Okay, so I used to be a previous behavior and trauma therapist for high profile cases in Arizona. So I would work with the abused, the neglected, the rape cases, like the violent cases that you see online, murder cases. I was in court a lot and I love this job. I not only worked with the victims, I worked with the perpetrators because I love psychology that much, guys. Like behavior to me is like, yes, I want to know more. So what happened was, I started getting severe migraines and I couldn't figure out why. I went to my doctor. They did process of elimination. I ended up taking out my birth control. And guess what happens when birth control comes out? Baby, I got pregnant with my 5th child. Yes, I'm a proud mom of 5. Yes, yes. Ooh, it shook my world because I ended up getting diagnosed with papilledemia pseudotumor cerebri, which is a fancy term of saying I have a benign tumor on my brain that pushes on my eyes. So I deal with constant migraines every day. Well, when you're pregnant, things get worse. Well, I almost went blind. My appendix ruptured at 20 weeks pregnant. I was airlifted out 3 times. I caught MRSA. I went into preterm labor. I had to have a drain placed. And during this whole time, guys, I could not just stay still. So I helped one of my friends at the time build her business to $1 million, all while sitting in the hospital because I was not just going to sit there and like waste it away. Well, I come home. Finally had my baby a month early, literally home for 7 days. My water breaks. I'm like, I'm going back to the hospital. Like, for real? Okay, we're doing this. I come home and my house is in foreclosure. Oh. My HOA is auctioning off my home and it's 120 plus degrees out here and my water gets turned off. Oh. All I thought was, oh my God, how am I going to do this? What am I going to do? Well, the water was only in my name and we had this piece of crap red van outside that has no AC. So I can't take my baby with me. I had massive PTSD leaving her. Like I had just went through so much trauma. Well, I cried all the way to the water company. And I remember getting there and I got my water turned back on. I don't remember how, but I did. And on the way home, I put on a podcast. And I was like, I helped my friend make $1 million. I helped her. I bet you there's other people that I can help. Well, I built my website on my iPhone 8 because I didn't have a laptop. I didn't have tools. I didn't have the money, but I had the drive and I knew I had a skill. So within the first 7 days of business, I landed $12,500 and I've been in business ever since. Thank you. The story doesn't stop there. I actually, a year and a half ago, I burned that business to the ground. I made $250,000 and I was like, this is amazing, but I hate it. And I didn't thrive in it. And what I realized is I helped my clients. I went back. This is the best thing about helping our clients. We get to go back and see what areas we really helped them with that brought them like joy and happiness, that also brought me joy and happiness. Well, I added up the staggering numbers and it was $80 million in revenue through me helping my clients. And it was all around storytelling and messaging and how we told our story, how we communicated, how we closed sales, how we stand up in front of rooms and showcase our skills, how we network. It's all in our voice. So I remember saying, ever since I was a little girl, I said, I'm going to give a voice to those that don't have one. And I thought I was doing that through the work that I was doing as a behavior and trauma therapist, but I didn't. I took their voice from them because I was in court screaming and shouting for them when I wanted them to have that power. Well, what do speakers do? We give a voice back to the audience. and you guys get to go change lives. That is the ripple effect of being a speaker. That's the ripple effect of using your voice. So I use that. I lost 150 pounds and I am here today. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I want you guys to ask these key questions. What was in what? Oh, I fucking love you too. Tell me, what does that bring up for you hearing the story?
We all thrive on news stories. There is that emotional connection, and I think that piece too. Like as you're talking, you have to remind yourself that as a storyteller that it's going to resonate somebody in ways. And what you talked about is you talked about your low, you talked about your high, you talked about what you get out of it, and that thread is what people instead you sit down at your seat and I want to hear more.
Yeah.
And I think that's the piece is, when you have important, every single lot has an every single one of us is going to learn from each other in this room. Yeah. And we have to remember that we have these gems to be able to share. You just shared yours, which was vulnerable and it was powerful. And it was every single one of us, we're all engaged.
I love that.
Fucking love you.
I love that. Yeah.
Yes, you're more. Oh my God. I'm glorious. Like, can't wait.
Yeah. So that's the power of your story, guys. They want to Google you. They want to find you. They fucking love you. They're lining up to talk to you. That's what it's about. It's about being so powerfully driven in front of a crowd that they really need you in their life, right? And I'm not doing anything besides sharing what I've experienced. And man, it was vulnerable. It was dark times. It was hard. I didn't know if I was going to come out of it. I for sure never thought that I would be standing here today speaking in front of all of you beautiful women. So thank you for being here and saying yes to yourselves and yes to your voice. That's this workshop is you get to do that for yourselves. So in the workbook, I want you guys to think about what was your darkest moment in business or life? What happened? And I'll give you a few moments, but I would love for you to share. I don't, but I do have, do you want to scan to get it on your phone? Got it?
Yeah.
Here. Yeah. That's perfect. Oh, I love this case. Color's beautiful. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Sure.
Okay, so the next question is, what did you tell yourself to keep going? I think these are really important questions that you guys have to ask yourselves before you can make your entire story, how to write it out. We need to start with the down and dirty parts, right? The parts where we're like, oh, this is raw. Or what is a story that you have had that you just haven't shared because you feel like, who cares? Who's really going to care about this story? That's the story that I believe you should be telling. Because a lot of people hold on to a lot of stories and you don't realize. Now, the best way, I always wondered, like, what do we do with these stories, right? I have 5 kids, right? My day looks crazy every day. It doesn't look the same. Lots of stories come about. The best way to start a story bank is to put it on your phone. So have a note, like go to your notes in your phone and start a story bank there, because the best part of our stories, guys, isn't just keynotes, isn't just TEDx. It's also your messaging. It's who you're talking to. What are you saying to them? How are you closing the sales loop? And we have to make sure that we're doing that through our conversations that we're talking about. So starting that story bank on your phone is so easy because you can always go back to it. You can always pull from it. Maybe you want to make a post and you're like, oh, what do I want to make a post about? Well, guess what? I wrote a story. Or Voxer yourself. When I'm on walks, I like to Voxer myself or do notes to myself. It is very therapeutic for me. So find a way that's easy for you that you can start a story bank so you can start collecting all these pieces, but really answering these questions. So the next one was, what belief were you holding on to that you had a breakthrough? Now, these questions I asked my one-on-one clients. So I literally pulled it out and I was like, what can I teach today that's going to be powerful and profound? And these are the questions that I was like, ooh, we can make a good story. And I actually used it because I want to teach you guys how to use AI alongside this. Would that be helpful? Yeah. Okay. Yes. All right. So we have, what was your darkest moment in business or life? What happened? What did you tell yourself to keep going? What belief were you holding on to that you had to break through? What transformation have helped someone else achieve? So what have you helped someone else achieve? What story in your life has shaped the way you show up today? And what do you want your audience to feel when they hear you speak? Have you guys put any thought into that, how you want them to feel? Take a moment and I would love for you to raise your hand because I'd love to go through how you want to make people feel because that's really important to think about. Are you wanting to move them, inspire them, motivate them, lead them to action? I love workshops because I'm like, I want people to take action. I want you to leave with some tangible things. So how do you want to make people feel? Yeah.
I want to make people
Empowered. I love that. Anybody else want to share? Confident.
That it's possible.
That it's possible.
Believe in themselves.
Believe in themselves.
Motivated.
Yes.
A mindset change that none of us got to pick the circumstances that we were born into, but we get to decide how to help others out.
I love that. I have quite the story on that too. Anybody else? No? Okay, great. Yes.
Contagiously happy.
I love that. You do that. You're really good at that one. Okay, so perfect. So now we're going to go into AI for the win. How many here use AI? Oh, yeah. How many here feel like you've got AI down? Yeah? Okay.
Just so much swear. I don't know how any.
So much swear.
Yeah.
I know. AI can be quite a lot, but I think if we get really tailored in, it's all about the prompt. Who here has heard of prompt perfect? Oh. Prompt perfect, write it down, make sure you get it. It's about $8 a month, or you can pay like, I think $90 for the year. Best part about prompt perfect is, you just put a prompt in. What kind of prompt would you write?
Give me, or I need to draft a PR strategy for XYZ client. Here's the information. What are some pitch topics?
Okay, awesome. Then you would hit perfect and it would expand your prompt to detailed orientation of having like really granular things. So prompt perfect is absolutely amazing. It can help you. You can hit perfect, or you can hit, there's also one that will teach you how to make it perfect. So prompt perfect is really, really fun to use. So I'm actually going to jump out of here and I'm going to pull up ChatGPT. And everybody that grabbed the workbook that's jumping onto my email list, I am going to email out my 100K Keynote ChatGPT that I have created off of my clients that have made over $250,000 from one keynote. So everything that I've done for them, I put into this chat GBT, and I want to gift that to you guys. So I will be sharing that with you as well. But we're going to jump on here. Let's see. And I am going to go to my prompt. So one thing that I want you to think about is your opening hook grabs the attention through the story. So we need to have that really strong opening hook. The belief that shifted. So what changed and how you think. Then we have the framework. So show them how you help. And then the CTA. Who here loves call to actions at the end of their talks? Yeah? What do you say at the end of your talk? Does anybody want to share? Yes.
Don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait.
Okay. I like it. But what am I going to do from that? Go buy real estate?
That's why I'm here.
Okay. That's why you're here. Because I'm like, okay, you had me with a fun punchy, right? But it's like, but what do you want me to do? Why don't you ask them what you want them to do? Do you want them to jump onto your email list? I never suggest socials. You know why? They get lost. And then your lead has went nowhere. We need KPIs. Speaking of KPIs, a lot of ladies said they didn't track. I have a tracking system. I'll also email that to everybody. Yes, I love this tracking system. So let's see. I need to find my prompt. Okay. It says, act as a storytelling strategist using behavioral psychology and TED-style formatting. Help me develop a 20-minute talk using this story. So we're going to insert a story. My audience is, we're going to insert a ideal audience and the transformation I want them to experience. So I've done this before, but I would love a volunteer that would love to come up here and type out theirs.
Are you using ChatGPT or okay? So is Prompt Perfect a part of ChatGPT?
No, so Prompt Perfect isn't. It's an extension. So you can look up Prompt Perfect, which, as you see down here, guys, it says perfect feedback, save prompt, your prompt. So now I have saved prompts already. Oh, it's not letting me do that. But I have saved prompts, and I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, but I get to pull them up and use them every time. So whatever ones I have created, I have a very specific one that I use for my keynotes, my TED Talks, my adding human design in. I love to save them. So if you guys come up with a really good one, save it so that you can use it.
Do you use ChatGPT Plus or are you on regular chat?
I'm on ChatGPT Plus. I do invest in it. I also invest in Claude AI. Claude is so good. Anything long form. So if you are building your keynote out, I highly suggest a 45-minute talk that you write it in Claude because it's going to be way more detailed. But you can use this prompt wherever you go. So it doesn't matter if it's on ChatGPT. Oh my gosh, there's so many AIs out there. It's insane. Yeah.
Perplexity is good for data.
Perplexity.
Like research and data.
Mhm.
So smart.
Oh, so good. So good.
And my kids are using DeepSeek.
See? There's like so many different ones that you want to use. Yeah.
My husband likes Grok.
I've heard of them. Oh, okay. I haven't heard of that. Does anybody want to come to, yeah? Come on.
That's genius.
I love it.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. You want to sit here, or if you want to take it and sit down, but you're going to insert your story there.
Okay. Like a couple sentences.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. However much you want to put in there, and then we're going to read it out.
Okay.
And showcase what you do. So let me, what questions do you guys have that I could answer right now while she's doing this?
How do you get people at least $250,000?
Yeah. Yes, I like that. She's like, how do you get this? what you do is you start with something like this. You get real granular on why you're speaking, who you're speaking to. How many of you guys really know who you're speaking to? Okay, that's not a lot. Yeah, semi. Yeah. I mean, shoot, I even go like that sometimes, right? Like, we're always getting into more and more of who we are. And I think that's the beautiful part of being able to write and being able to use AI is that we get to write a beautiful story. So what happened was, my client, he used to be actually a behavior and trauma therapist, which is really funny, right? I was like, no way. We like swap stories. We have all of them. Well, he helps financial planners get referrals. And I was like, oh, I love this so much. It's so different. I've never met anybody do that. And he teaches to get referrals, not like a used car salesman. It's more like passive and talking, and you want to be referred. When you do a really good job, you get referred. So he got asked to go to Australia. He got $50,000 to speak, and he's been speaking for over 20 years. Absolutely phenomenal at what he does, but he is never monetized. And I was like, stop right now. You're not selling anything. You're not giving a book to them. You're not offering them to work with you. You are selfish. Yeah, I'm talking to all of you guys too. You are super selfish. Yes, because you're holding on to what your people need. You all are here for a reason. You want to learn. You want to make money. You want to close more deals. You want to inspire. You want to empower. You want to make people happy. Well, you got to stand the fuck up and tell people what you want. Tell them what to do. I want to be manhandled a little. I want to be told what to do. I want to learn from experts. But if you're not giving your gifts and talents out, then all they've done is listen to you for 45 minutes and they're leaving with more questions than answers. And I never want anybody to feel that way. I want them to have their questions, right? Their answers when they leave. So that goes into, of course, you can only talk for a certain amount of time. Well, you give them what they want, and then they hire you and you give them what they need. So he ended up leaving. We built him a course, and he's never made money. He's never even sold his book. He's had a book. He's like, why? I was like, you are literally doing the one thing that you tell your clients not to do. You want them to get referrals. You want them to get paid. Well, that's what I want for you. And he's like, I never thought of it that way. So he went to this conference. He had the course that was built out and he sold it. And he also, not only is this membership, like it's $497 a month, and then on top of it, you have an elite level that I helped him build out. So now you're talking about masterminding and getting into that deep circle. People are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars with him. It's phenomenal. So his talk, he didn't really have to change anything but the end. We have to tell people what they can do. You can grab, like I started at the beginning where I gave you my workbook. That's grabbing your guys' information so that I am able to follow up with each of you and give you that support. If you need to jump on a call with me for an hour and work this out, I want to do that with you. But we're always looking for containers of ways to get on calls with our audience, with our leads, with our warm leads, right? The same goes for discovery calls. So that also goes into when you're telling your story, you can use that on a discovery call, on a fit call, whatever that you call it, but you're literally sharing your message that leads into them becoming a client.
So we've done a lot of speaking for our business, but it's really more about our story and us leaving major corporate jobs to come and do what we're doing.
Okay.
So we're speaking tomorrow, but we're not necessarily selling to this audience. The women in this audience need our product. You break periodics into naturals.
Amazing.
So what I'm grappling with right now is all of these women actually need it, but who we're selling to at the end of the day is like a facilities team.
They have connections with those. They work with places.
Yeah. And so, so I guess it's more of like, as we're sharing our heartfelt story of like how we got here, the ups and downs and everything you just talked about, I guess I'm trying to figure out how you hook in and at the end.
Okay.
Because sometimes we don't actually talk about what we do.
Right.
We talk about our story and how we got to what we're doing, but not necessarily that. So that's like my brain is.
So wouldn't you want them to jump on a call with you if they need your help? Or what would a freebie be?
Yeah.
Actually, you could have a super cool quiz. Like I'm already like, I love marketing, guys. Like I use marketing with what I do, but you could have a quiz that people could take. Yeah. Or you could have a downloadable PDF to really know like what your product's about, what your story is. And now they have that and they can share it with others again. Yeah. So you have it.
Yeah.
You just have to make sure that you end it with, you got to tie it back together.
In front of which many people to not beat.
Yeah. No, yeah. Yep.
Yes, so we'll be able to hear. Obviously, I know you talked a lot about just building up the keynote, but I'm wondering, do you help on the flip side with actual bookings? Like
yeah. Yeah. So I have a few different memberships that I'm a part of that I get hundreds of thousands of opportunities for speakers. And I don't know if do you guys know the stats of how many speaking gigs come out every day? Can you take a wild guess? 1,000. Winner. 1,000. About 1,000 plus come out every single day. So you need to be searching. So you can go on Google and put put who you speak to, find me local events, right? I am a keynote speaker for women empowerment in Arizona, right? You're going to see ones, you're going to find them in there. So it's really important to go on Google. Google will be your best friend in finding them. So make sure that you're looking on there for opportunities. There's an app, I can't think of it. I haven't used it yet because I get so many from Google and from these memberships. So that's something that I joined because I wanted to be able to give whoever I worked with, I wanted to have a plethora of opportunities for them through working with me. Does that help? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, awesome. Okay, you filled it out.
Should I sit?
Sure. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to hit enter and we're going to watch ChatGPT do its thing. All right, let's go full TEDx storytelling strategist mode. Psychology backed, TED formatted, transformational with your bold, compassionate voice leading the charge. Okay, you ready? Parenting isn't a performance. Reclaiming your power one day at a time. Parenting is often called the hardest job in the world, but nobody tells you the hardest part isn't the car seats, the tantrums, or even sleepless nights. The hardest part is the guilt you carry when reality doesn't match the dream you had in your heart. For me, that dream started in pain, years of infertility and miscarriages that convinced me parenting was something I might never have. When I finally became a mother, I told myself, you have to be perfect. You've been given a gift you almost lost. Don't mess it up.
It's crazy that Chad is making me. So
that's the power of a prompt.
That's not what I typed in, ladies. How much is that is you?
It is you. It brings... It is. And that's what ChatGPT gets to do. So when you have a super specific prompt, this is the output we want. Cries, tears, power. I want to see how it... So do you guys want to hear the whole thing or... Yes? Okay. All right.
Wait, can you pass the tissue?
I can. Who needs the tissues? let's see. The
Dulcie, she entered
yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you want me to go back and start with that? Okay. So the input was act as a storytelling strategist using behavioral psychology and TED style formatting. Help me develop a 20-minute talk using this story. She put after suffering infertility and is it a multiple? Multiple miscarriages, I realized parenting is a privilege, not a right. I felt unworthy of being a parent and set very high expectations of myself to be the perfect mom after being raised by mentally ill and emotionally unavailable mother. After ultimately being gifted with 2 beautiful children, I realized parenting these kiddos needed to be done differently than what I pictured, and I felt so guilty that my parenting strategy needed to change. My audience is working moms experiencing guilt and stress, parenting neurodivergent kids. The transformation I want them to experience is more compassion, clarity, connection, and confidence in their parenting. I want to lead them to an offer. Join my 8-week Reclaim Your Day program. Yes, girl. All right. All right. So when the perfect parenting strategy broke down, how raising neurodivergent kids didn't fit into the perfection mold, the crushing guilt that came with needing to parent differently. My kids didn't need a perfect mom. They needed a present one. The endless guilt, the shame, spirals, the measuring myself against impossible standards. They weren't helping my kids thrive. They were smothering them. I realized I wasn't parenting my children. I was parenting my fear. Letting go of the perfect parenting. Learning how to see your kids' actual needs and your own. Finding clarity in chaos and building connection over control. How you started feeling confident because you were compassionate with yourself. What if parenting wasn't about proving anything? What if it was about being present, mess, mistakes, meltdowns, and all? When I dropped the story of who I thought I should be, I found the mother my kids actually needed. I will be emailing this to you. We started celebrating small victories. We learned to pause instead of panic. We built routines that worked for us, not against us. Today, I stand here today not as a perfect mother, but as a present, powerful, and peaceful one. And if you're ready to step off the guilt treadmill and reclaim your days, not someday, but starting now, I invite you to join me. My 8-week program, Reclaim Your Day, is designed specifically for working moms parenting neurodivergent kids, women who are ready to trade stress for clarity, guilt for compassion, and chaos for connection. Because the truth is, your kids don't need a perfect parent. They need you, free, confident, and connected.
So are you all sensational? I don't know what.
So that's the power of taking a really, really good prompt and putting just some of your story in there, even if it was quick. Look at what a beautiful 20-minute piece she has. Guess what? Now she can use that on a podcast. Now she can use that in a sales call. Now she can, hey, you have 20 minutes to talk. Easy. 15 minutes, I could wrap that into 15 minutes. All right. It's all in how you deliver. But that's literally the power that you get to have with your story. So I really, truly hope that you guys take your time, go through the workbook, write out your story, put it into ChatGPT, and start selling.
Yes.
Start inspiring. Start changing lives. Because you literally change their biochemistry in their body. You increase serotonin. You have them release oxytocin. They feel what you feel. That's why you cried. Why? Because it's emotional. You feel that connection. And that's all we want to do is connect with our audience. And through that comes leads and comes lots of money, because we all love money, honey. So I want to, yes, ask a question. We're in question mode now.
Okay, so I work with AI. I train AI to behave and think and act like your ideal client.
Yes.
So that you can run all of your offers, your everything through your ideal clients.
Yep.
I was just hired by Intel to come and teach their employees my AI methods. So it's a workshop. And so I feel like I've been brought into this teach. Then I just go into teacher mode, not like, let me tell you about me and my story. But what do you do in those situations? Do you marry the two? Do you just go in and teach?
No, I would marry the two. Yeah, because each of them can become your client. Like,
it's a non-pitch opportunity. No, they could decide to become my client.
that's right. It's all in the this is non-pitchy. Like, she invited them to join her program. She didn't say, hey, come join my program. Or you can say, this is how I've helped my client. This is how I've done this. And then now they know, oh, I can work with her outside of this workshop.
Yeah.
So that's the delivery that I would give.
Okay, and you would fold in some of your story?
I would, yeah. Yeah, because why not? They need to know about you, the person behind the brand. We all know like, no, trust, right? But which one is the most important? No. No. How are you going to like somebody or trust them if you don't know them? So they got to know you first. Yeah. Yes. And then Chandler.
Kind of a little bit of a journalist hat on.
Yeah.
How do you distinguish, right, the speaker, if everyone is it? So what I'm thinking about, the greatest writers, the Maya Angelou's, Gwendolyn Brooks, Alice Walker's, right? There's no AI.
Right.
There was this, they were able to come up. And so I'm thinking if everyone's able to use this tool, which I think it should be used, right?
Yeah.
But how do you distinguish beyond the crowd of having this original, powerful delivery? Because there is, I think, a difference.
Yeah.
When it's human made.
Yes. So my biggest thing that I tell you to do is use AI to help support you and grow it, but it has to be in your voice. I can't stand here and be robotic. No freaking way. So I have trained my AI to think like me, to speak like me, to act like me, make decisions like me. So a lot of the time I'll put it in there, but that first draft, it wouldn't be I'm going to tell it. I would keep adding my human element to it. So then when I am telling that story, it comes across as that powerful delivery that comes from me. Yeah. Does that help?
Yeah.
Chandler?
How do you remedy things when your story doesn't necessarily relate to your business? Like, you feel like your most impactful story has nothing to do.
Ooh, I love this. I just helped one of my clients. He is in PR and media. Well, he lost his brother around 14, 15 years old, his oldest brother. Biggest devastation to him. It was his oldest brother. He died unexpectedly. And he goes, well, how am I going to fit that in with PR and media? Well, we literally took his story around losing his brother. He became the oldest child, which he wasn't. He was the middle child. He now supports his entire family. They all work for him. They work in the building that his father built and owned a shop there. He now owns it. And then his entire family works for him, and he provides and helps for each of them. We easily took that. He goes, what does that have to do with PR and media? Everything. You stood up and became this powerhouse. Like, we're good. You need to really own that story and show how it took you from nothing to becoming something. So I suggest really sitting with your story and being like, how can I pull this in together? Because there's always a way to pull the story in.
Okay, I have a follow-up question.
Yeah.
What do you feel? What if you feel like you're still in it? Like you're still in your most impactful story?
Wow.
I would reach out to somebody like me so I could yeah. I would. This is when I'm like, okay, therapist in me is like, I need to literally have you come in and we need to pull out that, because I do story mining. So I pull each story out. And that's when I would say, yeah, if you're still in the thick of it, then you need somebody like me to help it. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you. Yes.
Comment.
Yes.
You are gorgeous and that in all TAR. So
Thank you. You guys are going to make me cry. All right. Have an amazing rest of your time. And I thank each and every one of you for joining me.